It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side.
Yes, people, big up to all of you, and welcome back to Chelsea's Perspective. Welcome to another edition of the live Chelsea show, where today the plan is to talk about Enzo Maresca, speak about what we believe he needs to change immediately, and I'm quite sure you've seen the games we will be playing in the you could say call it maybe second phase. No, towards for the rest of the season, very very tight, difficult schedules. But once again, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you all finding the time to join me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular morning. Without wasting much of your time, we will get into it. We will look at what the numbers tell us, discuss whatever we believe the manager must do to get, you could say, to get as many points as possible from the remaining 9 Premier League games. Some of them, people are already saying we're going to lose them. Some people are saying we'll get only 3-4 points and whatever. But if you're interested in coming onto the panel and telling us how many points you think we'll be able to get from those the games we have for the rest of the Premier League this 24-25 season, feel free to come onto the panel and tell us. But more importantly, thank you for 4 likes already. But the truth remains we can do a lot better than just 4 likes. A total of 13 people. How many following? I think that number is not correct because we have 15 people following the show on YouTube, and I'm saying a total of 16. Maybe that's the correct one right now. 15 on YouTube, 1 elsewhere. Could be X, could be Facebook. I'm not too sure which one it is. But that's, by the way, without wasting much of your time, we'll go news hunting first. Did I even open the correct window here? Give me a second here. For news, usually I go to Vincent's X feed to search for news. So we'll go news hunting. Once we're done with news hunting, we'll come back to looking at the numbers and discussing what we believe Enzo Maresca must do, must change, must start doing to get results from the nine games remaining in the Premier League. But that's, by the way, news. We are on Vince's X feed. The first item here, quoting John Michael Obi, that report reads, John Michael Obi on Osimhen to Chelsea move. He's saying that he knows exactly where they stopped in terms of the conversation they had at the time, discussing the possibility of Osimhen joining Chelsea Football Club. If we have to pick it up again in the summer, it's just pretty easy to get it done because the player really wants to come to the football club. If you're talking about us strikers to come in and help. Houston, I still don't believe he really wanted to come to Chelsea. I think, in my opinion, he was using us to milk the Saudis, and you could argue that it backfired spectacularly. I'm quite sure, probably, in my opinion, he deep down did believe at the time that he'd be going to Saudi Arabia and wanted to make the most of it, and it backfired. That's just my opinion. Chances are he really wanted to come to Chelsea, but we can only speculate. We weren't there at the table when they discussed the possibility of him joining Chelsea Football Club. But despite we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Once again, I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this morning for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. Thank you once again. The next item we have lined up, let's go news hunting. The next one talks about Emmanuel Petit, saying his concerns with Victor Osimhen would be with his personality and character. That's not an issue for me. I'm more concerned about his injury record. It can be a great thing for the team if it fits. If it fits in, okay. But it can also be difficult in other teams. I think at Chelsea not an issue. We've had you could say a more stubborn players. Osimhen, I don't think is stubborn actually. I don't. So we all know his qualities and what he can bring to the team. He can score goals and on. And here's the thing: I've presented my argument on why I think Chelsea shouldn't sign him. My argument is driven by Chelsea, the behavior of Chelsea fans, and also the way I believe the manager likes to play. I'm going to touch. Let me talk about that a bit. Osimhen is an excellent number 9. If you want a stereotypical number 9, a traditional number 9, or an out and out number 9, whatever language you prefer to use, he's the guy for you. But here's the thing. Do I think he's a perfect fit for the way I know Maresca likes to play? I'd say no. But I have to also admit there's that possibility that the manager would want Osimhen and then make some adjustments to his known approach to accommodate Osimhen. That's a possibility too. But one thing that I think will not change is the expectation of the Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans want the club to sign Osimhen because of his record, because of his how many goals he scored. Was it 2 seasons ago? I think he scored 30 plus goals, broke all sorts of records, and they won the Serie A that season with Napoli. And Chelsea fans are pushing for the club to sign him because of his record, not because you could say, in my opinion, his overall playing ability as a footballer. So if he comes to Chelsea under Enzo Maresca, who prefers a number 9 that's capable of playing on the flanks centrally, playing on the flanks either left or right side, and then centrally dropping deep, participating in the play. You don't have that in Osimhen. As good as he is, I'm not saying he's a bad player. This has to do with his profile as a number 9. And he's played as a number 9 all his life. So two things here. From the perspective of Chelsea fans, they will welcome him. The sign will sign him, but we'll be expecting him to measure his performance at Napoli when they won the Serie A. And if he finishes the season with anything not close to that, in my opinion, I think they will turn on him, just like they did to Lukaku. So I fear that Osimhen, if he comes to Chelsea, we will experience the Lukaku Chelsea saga part 2. And from Osimhen's perspective, he also, again, I believe he still has that belief that he's capable of scoring that many goals in one season. If he joins Chelsea, I think he'd still have that confidence that he'd be able to do that at Chelsea. But when he comes in and finds out that the manager plays with a more fluid approach, where the situation isn't us channeling almost all or majority of our goal scoring chances through a single individual, Maresca doesn't play like that. So if he's expected to sometimes drift to the flanks, either left or right hand side, he's not going to like it. Yeah, he may, he's not going to like it, and he'd like also to still play with to center our approach around him. Whenever he's in the box, just put it in the box. Do I think Maresca is that sort of coach? No, but maybe he's willing to tweak his approach to accommodate Osimhen as a stereotypical number 9 or traditional number 9. Out and out number 9, whatever you want to call it. So there's a lot. It's not that straightforward. If we had Mourinho as our manager, I'd say sign him, and he turned him into the best number 9 the world has ever seen for a while. But that's just my opinion anyway. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular morning. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. Big up AB, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to be part of the show this morning. We should ask Maresca. He isn't the man. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying here, Chelsea Holic. He isn't the man for the job. I think there are reasons. There are no, in my opinion, I don't think there are enough reasons to say, yeah, to argue that he should be let go because, yeah, he's not the man for the job. There are other factors in play here that has led to the team not performing as we Chelsea fans expect. And that's just my opinion. But you have every right to see it again, to think otherwise, and just let us know why. What else do we have here? And we have Patrick Joyce. Patrick, I haven't seen you in a while. I do hope you're doing well. And thank you for finding the time to join us here. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. I hope the case is that you've been busy. If that's the case, I'm happy for you. Bills don't pay themselves. We should sack. Okay, sack was what you meant to type. Sack at the time. Let's see. Yeah, this is because we're streaming in a vertical format. Press your screen for about a seconds to see like and comment options. Swipe up to go full screen, and believe me, you will like it if you're using a mobile device. And here's why we're going to be streaming a lot in a vertical format is that 76% of the community members follow our shows on their on mobile devices. So it's only fair that we cater for them. But we still be streaming on landscape modes for match previews, post game shows also. When we need to show some stuff on the screen, it would be better of going with our landscape mode. Let's see. He says, I think Enzo needs to change the starting format or bring in new players and sell some. That's what I think. We definitely will be selling some players come next transfer window. We've heard that up to 7 players, but probably up to 10. I think Dante did the calculation here on the panel, and yeah, could be around 10 players. But some of them, definitely the likes of Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell, and Kepa Arrizabalaga, it it's not going to be easy to find buyers because of their salary will almost always be yeah, create, you can say, be make it difficult for them to find clubs or for clubs to come calling for them because, yeah, usually when players move or switch clubs, they seek a pay rise, and in their case they're already earning a lot. And in the case of Ben Chilwell, I don't think he's playing to impress anybody. I don't think he'd be concerned about getting the opportunity to represent England. You could say the same for Raheem Sterling. So that makes it very difficult for Chelsea Football Club to move them on. But that's, by the way, what else do we have here? Markham Neum is in the house. Big up to you too. Nice to see you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Big up, Crazy. My brother from another mother. Always nice to see you. I only have one update to tell you. Okay, go ahead. BBC Sport is saying that next season there could be up to 11 English teams in Europe next season in all European competition. To be more specific, they're not Champions League alone. 7 in the UEFA Champions League, 3 in what? Let me see, 3 in the Europa League and 1 in the Conference League. I don't think it'd be up to 7. No, I think at most 5 in the UEFA Champions League. Enzo cannot stick to his pattern. He has to adapt flexibility to accommodate a natural striker. Do I think he'd be willing to do that? I don't know, but we'll find out. Everything comes down. If we sign Osimhen come next transfer window, that's definitely means he's agreed to adapt. He's agreed to make adjustments to his preferred approach to accommodate a traditional number 9. I would take it. And if you understand my argument, I'm not saying that Osimhen is a bad player. I'm just trying to see things from Chelsea fans' perspective in terms of their expectation and also from the manager's approach, if that makes sense. So let's move on. What else do we have here? Okay. Emmanuel Petit on Chelsea owners will be looking to bring more players in despite spending so much money over the last 2 years. Yeah, I think they will. That we've heard that, but I don't think we'll be signing too many players in the summer. Well, is this anything important? Nothing important. Not so much is happening. But let's hear you. What do you think Enzo Maresca should change to make sure we get as many points out as possible from the remaining 9 Premier League games? Let's hear you. For me, I'd just say my advice would be for him to simplify things and no need to risk too much. No need just find a way to win games. Not it doesn't have to be his way. Be as pragmatic as possible. I still support him. I still believe he's the man for the job. But sometimes you don't do what you want to do. Sometimes you do what gets you result. But that's my opinion anyway. Let's hear your thoughts. What do you think he should do differently for the remaining 9 Premier League games? What do you think he needs to change? Let's hear you. And he's saying, "Yep, yeah, I think I've addressed that one." And he says, "If it's not, he will get sacked because yeah, what he has now is not very productive. You can argue it hasn't worked for a while, but in our last game, there are reasons why you could argue to use a more relatable language. We didn't bite. We didn't have any recognizable striker on the pitch. If you say Nkunku is a striker, as he tell you he is, he didn't perform as one. Even in the game before our last game, he was poor. Even when he got the chance to be central, he wasn't making decisive runs, wasn't even pressing effectively as the manager would want. For me, I'd rather see KDH start the next game or even Tariq George. If we're going to play with a fluid approach, given that Nkunku isn't really applying himself as a striker, I don't even want him to apply himself as a traditional number 9, but given his experience, I know he's more of a second striker than he is again an out and out number 9. But given our situation and his experience, he should be able to do better than he's done in our last 2 games. In my opinion, nice to see you, bro. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join us. I appreciate you. More likes, people. More likes. We have 20 people watching, 10 on YouTube, the rest on X. The rest on X and Facebook, definitely shared between the 2 platforms. If you're following the show on X, do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do follow our X account, please. On Facebook, do the same. If you don't mind joining us on YouTube, we'd really appreciate that. Ankit, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining the show. So let's look at what the numbers tell us in terms of where we are. Again, our output maybe as a team. Top stats are fourth mob rating. Top rated is Liverpool. Second, Arsenal. Third, Manchester City. Goals per match. Yep, Liverpool 2.4. So no surprises there. They're top in the table. Manchester City 1.9. Tottenham 1.9. And look where they are in the table. And probably because they concede a lot. Yeah, they do concede a lot. So the question once again is, what do you think Maresca needs to change? What do you think he should start doing differently for us to garner as many points as possible from the collect maybe the remaining 9 Premier League games? Goals conceded per match. Arsenal they conceded a lot. Wow. And I was again, I've always thought that they have the best defensive line actually. 0.8 for them. Okay, less so to speak. They're considering less than every other team, so to speak. I'm mixing things up there. So that's good. Yeah, no wonder why they're up there. Liverpool, yeah, but Arsenal considered a lot less, but didn't win enough to be top in the table. Crystal Palace 1.2. So it looks like others are considering quite a lot. Average possession, that's nothing to me, was second, but it doesn't possession doesn't win you games. We know that. Clean sheets, Liverpool's kept 12 clean sheets. They're on par with Nottingham Forest in that metric, which yeah, no surprises there, which is why Nottingham Forest that they are in third place. Arsenal, they've kept 11 clean sheets. Wow. We're going to just keep it at top three for each metric. Expected goals XG was second. Yeah, but we've been very, very wasteful. If you compare, I think that was on Vincent's X feed. A statistic he had on the other day. Statistics that he had on the other day showing Nkunku's you could say ratio of goals scored to his XG is in the minus. Nicholas Jackson the same thing. Even Cole Palmer the same thing. Nicholas Jackson the worst. No surprises there. He's been like that since he joined Chelsea until he improves his finishing. maybe he get better at that. But I'm looking overall here. We have shots on target per match. We're in third place, 5.8. Not bad, but how many did we put away is still the question. Big chances created in total. We've created 95. We're only second to Liverpool that has 118 in total. So those are good signs. But I think the moment we lost Nicholas Jackson, I think you could argue that Enzo Maresca has struggled to find a solution in the absence of Nicholas Jackson, and also Cole Palmer, poor form. But if you look at it, if we're being truthful, also from what he has available at his what he has at his the players he has at his disposal, don't help. It's as simple as that. So he's not a magician. I don't. You could say, but still, these are good signs. Had we been more clinical in front of goal, chances are we'd be better off in the table right now. Expected goals were at 7.1, second to Liverpool only, which is 6.0. Shots on target per match, 5.8. We've looked at that. Big chances, we've looked at that. Big chances missed, of course. Second in big chances missed. We missed 63 big chances in total. Second to Liverpool, who's missed 68. Third place, Aston Villa, they missed 58. So this is concerning, the fact that we've been fluffing our chances. But despite the way, let's see what we have in the chat. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Which striker Enzo has been flexible? The changes needed are stop playing Sancho and Nkunku when they are fit. Stop. Okay. When they are fit, Jackson and Nani should return back to the 11. Definitely. Jackson, once he recovers, he'd be he. I don't think the manager will even wait for him to be fully fit. If he recovers, you can say 80 to 90%. I think he'd start playing him. Nani Madueke, hate him or love him. His absence, we've learned in his absence that he was actually one of our best players before he got injured. Thank goodness. I've never said he's a bad player. I've only talked about areas that I believe he needs to improve to become a much better player, which is my complaints at the time was that he was a bit too selfish to my liking, that if he can be a little more selfless, then he'd become a much better player. And in my opinion, I think that's still the case. And except if he comes back a changed player, then I start speaking otherwise. Give me 1 second. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. This particular morning for me, it's still 9:53 a.m. So yes, it is the Blue Morning Show. Let's see. My bro, thank you. I appreciate you. You know you don't have to do this, but much love to you. I appreciate the support. I think whenever time allows, if I see that you're online, I will definitely stop by to say hello and maybe join you on the panel. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes do go a long way. We have a total of 13 likes. We have a total of 26 people following the show, 13 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook. So let's get the likes up, people. I appreciate you all. All right, what else do we have here? All right, let's see. Maresca doesn't need much to change. Okay, according to 2324, it's the players need to learn to take shots. They were poor in taking shots. Yes, then how many times do we actually take shots from outside the box? I still support Maresca 100%. Do I think it's perfect? No. But if you're saying the players need to take shots, it's the manager. You have to hold him responsible for that. He has to ask them to shoot from outside the box. It's really that simple, in my opinion. I think he will eventually, again, find solutions find a solution to the issue that we're experiencing right now, which is we don't bite. We've looked at different teams since Nicholas Jackson got injured, and his injury led to us learning how how important he is to this current Chelsea squad. Margui also injured, both in the same game. The odds of that happening, yeah, you do the mathematics and come back to me. But here's the thing: do the calculations and come back to me. Um, yeah, if you're talking about shooting, then we have to blame the manager. If we don't shoot from outside the box, but we don't even try that many times. I think it's in some cases it just looks as if we're looking to walk the ball into the net. But we're moving from that. Let's hear you. What do you think he needs to change? What do you think he needs to do differently? And I'm gonna go back to what I've said already. I think if I get the chance to speak with him, I tell him to just simplify things. I get it. You're trying to implement a specific way of playing. For instance, I'd say if Marco Correa isn't going to be the player inverting, please let the fullbacks apply themselves in a traditional manner and not try. Just it's clear now that what's his name? Malo Gusso is better off utilized as a traditional fullback and not an inverted fullback. Even though he does the basics right, the basics which is just to complete the triangles in areas where wherever we have the ball, and also you can say help us gain a numerical advantage over the opposition in the areas whenever we have the ball. Complete the triangle, add to the number of players we have in certain areas, in certain points to overwhelm the again to have numerical advantage over the opposition, if that makes sense. He does those things correctly, but he doesn't create. Whenever he shoots, it's always rising. The sort of shots that the rugby union will be very proud of, if that makes sense. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So I tell them just simplify things. Simplify it. If Kukurea isn't the one to invite, let's let them apply themselves in a traditional manner. In my opinion, there are solid reasons to not start screaming Enzo Maresca out. There are no grounds for that, in my opinion. We started the season well, and I disagree with anybody that brings up the argument that he lived off of the progress that Mauricio Pochettino made. That's absolute nonsense. It just doesn't make sense. Give me 1 second, please. That just doesn't make sense. We've seen, you can say, all sides to his approach as a manager. So this year from my bro reads, I forgot to read that comment because I wasn't expecting that from my bro. I honestly, but take the support that I get from my bro from another mother that reads up to Chelsea, but difficult times again. Need to throw the kitchen sink in the games towards the end of the season. Too predictable. Do I think too predictable? Maybe we're not looking at it the proper way. I think it just comes across as predictable when you play against teams if teams that defend deep, it comes across as predictable. I would say not really predictable, but that's just my opinion anyway. I've seen a lot of people say that. Chances are I'm wrong and they're all right, but maybe I need to take my time and pay good attention to the way he approaches the game. What I wanted to say is this, but bro, thank you once again. I appreciate that. I want to say once again, we've seen too many sides. We've seen a lot of sides to Maresca's approach. He's proven again he can. We've seen how we started the season. It was high octane, quick passes, quick transition, and then in certain games, I think the reason he changed was that we were scoring goals at the time, but in all honesty, we were conceding quite a lot, and we cannot outscore every opposition. It is really that simple. So that was when he tried when he introduced you can say he made the change where he started pairing Moises Caicedo with Romeo Lavia to ensure defensive solidity. And remember, I think if we don't, the truth remains, had he not changed things the way he did, and had he not, you can say, moved to using a more cautious approach, balanced approach, chances are would be lower in the table right now. So he realized we have a problem. And after the transfer window, there's no way we're going to solve our problem now until another transfer window comes around, which is in the summer. He had to now use mainly a more cautious approach. Try to play games. You could say what we've been seeing. For instance, the game against what was that game? I think it was the second leg against Copenhagen. It was a controlled performance. It was on papers. The You could say the approach that did come across to a lot of people as lethargic or maybe too slow. It was on papers, in my opinion. I think he's trying to not you can say approach games with a scattergun approach, which is too risky. We have a very again young squad that on the persistent we've seen on numerous occasions that on the persistent pressure from the opposition they start panicking and making silly mistakes that I don't know Ken, how many plenty of games that has led to us that have led to us losing games we shouldn't have lost. I get it, and the absence of Nicholas Jackson and Nani Madeke, hate him or love him, yeah, hasn't helped. So I don't think there are grounds to start screaming Maresca out. There are reasons, solid reasons, to, why we've struggled of late. In common sense, the absence of Nicolas Jackson, Nani Madueke, poor former of what's his name, Cole Palmer. I'm not arguing that Maresca that he's been perfect. There are areas I'd like him to improve. To be more specific, man management. Find a way to create healthy competition between the players. Don't make any player feel like they are indispensable or they are more important than the other. And one that infuriates me the most is him saying in public, or you could say publicly, that Felix isn't playing because of their Cole Palmer. Even if that's the case, you don't phrase it that way. If I were Felix, I'd feel bad too. I'd push to leave too. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 15 likes, we should be doing a lot better than that. Anything else to look at here? I think we've gotten to the button. Big chances missed. We've looked at that. Accurate passes per game. That is nothing. You can argue because, yeah, especially of late, that most of the passes we've employed a more cautious approach in recent games to maybe to ensure just to a balanced approach, not to concede, not to risk too much, given that we have issues because we can't actually we've not been you can say we've not been scoring that much, so why risk conceding? So if you take your time to go look at why we've been playing the way we've been playing of late, it make a bit of sense to you. So accurate passes, Adam, that's nothing to me. What else do we have here? I think we don't appear anywhere else here again. Yeah, but there are metrics here that show that, yeah, we should be better off in the table than we are right now. But we've been not as clinical as we should be in front of goal, missing the 63 big chances. Second to Liverpool, yeah, they missed 68. But that's, by the way. Let's see what else we have here. How can a team play for 45 minutes without a shot on target? Are you really shocked? We had no recognizable striker on the pitch on that day. And if you're saying Kunku is one, he didn't play like one, even though he had the opportunity to apply himself in the central area. Yeah, so that's a good reason, you know. So if we had Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer fully fit and both on the pitch on that day, yeah, you be rest assured we'd have a lot more shots on target. in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too. Maya, the rapper, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding time to join the show. What else do we have here? I don't know. I'm starting to question his tactics and how he uses his players. I'm not going to question his tactics. I'm just preaching that he maybe simplify things a bit, not to overthink it. And I could be wrong. Chances are he's not overthinking anything, because I'll still go back to telling you there are reasons why I believe we were playing the way we're playing of late. We don't have goal scorers. Why risk too much trying to score goals? Because if you concede, we're basically done, because you just can't score. But that's by the way, we have Constantine Dunn in the house. Dante, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join me on the panel. I'm sure you've been listening. If you weren't listening, the question is, what do you think Maresca should do differently? What do you want him to change to ensure that you can say, collect as many points as possible from the 9 remaining Premier League games? So I hope I'm not getting that number wrong. But let's hear you, Dante. Big up, and thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, big up, coach. Everyone in the chat.
Big up.
Yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest, but yeah, I'll answer the question. Yeah, look, what he needs to change. You said before that you think he needs to make it a bit more simple and sort of simplify things a little bit. I think
be a bit more pragmatic, honestly. Just win games.
I think things are pretty simple, to be honest. His tactics are not that hard. I just think against Arsenal, the players really were a bit nervous, anxious, overwhelmed. I have no idea, but they did not look like it. I made the comment that I said they looked like they've played their first game together, like it was preseason. That's how they looked that first for probably 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty bad. But that's more on the players for me. They just didn't turn up, to be honest, and I kind of knew that.
The nervousness you mentioned, just quickly, that was clear, because there were a lot of half-baked passes during the first, you could say, 5 to 10 minutes or so. They seem to be not up for it.
Exactly, yeah. And I had a little bit of worry that, and it's happened before this season as well, when we have really early games. So like we had that game, it was an early game kickoff. So that's something the young players usually don't like. Even when I played, I hated starting early. I hated starting the 12 p.m. games or 11 p.m. game. Sorry, 11 midday basically. I didn't like those games. I liked the more night games or more later in the afternoon. I hated the really early games. And that's something I noticed playing and throughout my career, in that young players do not really like playing in the mornings, like the early, because they have to wake up super early, even earlier. You have to be really prepared for that, as in what you eat, how you sleep the night before, etc. And young players are not really good at that, especially these days with video games. All the young players, they're all playing video games till late, and then so that's one thing that when young players, I've noticed that it's a bit harder for them, that really early sort of kickoff. They always prefer the more evening or late afternoon or evening games. The body's just switched on more, and they just feel more comfortable. So that's something I've noticed as well. But I don't know that. That was pretty bad, that first 30 minutes. Even Maresca said it in the interview after. It was really bad, that first 30 minutes. Not sure why, but after that 30 minutes till the end of half, we were pretty good, actually. We were all over them, pinned them back, got the possession back a bit more even.
Sat deep.
I think they were pushing as well, so they just sat deep to protect.
But at a certain point, they did sit deep. Not you could say not on purpose though. That was because we pushed them back.
Pushed them back.
We were at them. Yeah. It wasn't like it was a strategy for them. They had to defend deep because we were on them consistently, but didn't get it go. But unfortunately, the result is what matters. We lost the game, and a lot of people probably wouldn't look beyond that to look at the overall performance on the day and how the game panned out overall, which was why when Maresca said we deserved more from the game, you could say but go ahead with what you're saying.
And let's just be clear, when he says that, he's talking about a result as a draw. He's not talking about winning. People are saying, how can he say we should deserve to win that game? Well, no, it's not. He's not talking about winning. He's talking about maybe we deserve to get something out of that game because Arsenal were not that good. And to be honest, were Arsenal that good? Not really. They were pretty poor, in my opinion, as well, without a striker. They didn't create much at all, especially that second half. That was pretty even, that second half. No team was really doing too much anyway. But that's what Maresca's saying. He thinks we deserved, to get at least a result. But look, probably overlooking looking at the game back again, probably not. I don't think we created enough to deserve the draw. I think Arsenal created a little bit more than
Only
us.
two
So
shots on target from Kukurea.
yeah, so they probably deserved a little bit more than us, 100%. So looking back at the game, but I know where he was coming from. It's straight after the game. The way you see the game sometimes live is different when you watch it back and reanalyze things. It's always a little bit different. So
And again, if the you could say average fan that usually watch the game on TV, they see a lot more than the manager during the game. Um,
of course, yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
manager's game at the time is probably, you could argue, sometimes focus on individuals or other things, but you're seeing everything in a holistic manner, and you see a lot more, and you'll be able to tell what went wrong immediately after the game. The manager probably in most cases would needs to rewatch the match to learn from it. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, and I'm sure it does, but that's normal. They're fired up. It's a different. Yeah, you don't see everything from the sideline as you do from TV. That's completely different. People think that's why people think it's so easy to for players to get in a position to do this. It is not the same when you're looking from up high down. It's very different. It's not quite the same. So yeah, look, he was a bit, after the game. Obviously, he wanted at least a draw. He wanted at least to get a result there, and he was disappointed he did. Even you saw Caicedo in the interview after, he was the same. He was kind of saying the same. That's because sometimes you play those games and you feel you deserve at least a point because the opposition didn't create nothing. And really, Arsenal didn't create nothing. They scored from that
But they,
set
yeah,
piece.
they didn't create too much. Here's something else
Yeah.
I want us to talk about here, Dante. Um, if we're being truthful, the sort of form we were in, even before we won the 4 games in a row that we won, I think the manager, he changed his approach. He started
Yeah.
employing a more cautious approach,
He had to.
but people weren't paying attention. If he was bent on going the usual way, coming into games just attacking and attacking, believing that we can outscore the opponent and something like that, chances are, yeah, we'd be talking about, you could say, something like 6 losses in a row. But he quickly
Right.
realized that, yeah, we have a problem here, which is why he started deploying a more cautious approach, leading to us scoring less. I get it. The absence of Nicholas Jackson cannot be, you could say, the impact of Nicholas Jackson's absence cannot be overstated. But he realized we have a problem. We can't score too many. It's important for us not to concede. So he started employing a more cautious approach. We started not risking too much. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean we became a defensive team. But I think I don't know if you get my point.
No, I
That
do,
was the
and I
reason
agree.
why we were actually able to win 4 games in a row without scoring not as many goals as we did score at the start of the season. And I told people yesterday, I think it was probably that I told that had we gone into that game with a scattergun approach or the approach we used at the start of the season, Arsenal could have beaten us 6 goals to 3 or 8 goals to 4.
Well, that's how we played last season. Then that's what happened exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's changed. He. If you again, that's why I'm saying there are reasons why we're struggling. But the manager, in my opinion, I've been paying attention. I think he's been changing things around to get results. He understands, and I'm quite sure the hierarchy also understands. Which why
Of
we're
course.
hearing that they're not even concerned, because at this time last season there were concerns, there were rumors that they are looking to replace Mauricio Pochettino. But I want you actually to get your opinion on that. Did you see the changes he made for us? You could say to get those 4 wins in a row. I think he was down to us being going into games with a more a cautious plan. But go ahead. I want to hear from you.
Yeah, coach, it's more cautious. It's basically you're drawing the opposition out. So yeah, it involves a bit more possession, a bit more passing sideways back, not rushing forward and then attacking. We've got two players and they got four players, and not attacking like that, because then you give it over and it counter attacks. So
Hmm.
yeah, he was more cautious. Definitely instructed the players when they do face a 1 versus 3, like our wingers did. Don't go in there because you're going to lose the ball and give it away, and then you're out of position. So pass it back and let's build up and let's draw the opposition out. And against the weak teams that sit deep, that works really well, and it worked. We got 3 points every one of those games. We couldn't do that last season. If this was Pochettino coaching this team, I guarantee we'd draw all those games or lose those games against those bottom
Because he's
teams.
still
That's
been
what
bent
happened.
on going on what again. He doesn't. He wasn't able to change things around, to
No,
tweak things to get results. So Maresca is able to do that, and I give him credit for
correct.
that. But here's the thing: unfortunately for Maresca, a lot of people don't see it that way. They just wanted to go into games, scattergun approach, risk everything, and we'd be worse off in the table had he done that. But I'm just glad he's
Yeah,
intelligent enough to learn that, yeah, wait, we need to slow down a bit. And hopefully we'll finish the season strongly, and uh, we'll be better off come the end of the season, better off than we were last season, than we finished last season. But go ahead, sorry for cutting you off.
that's fine. Yeah, look, this is only going to help for next season a lot. It's going to help because those players will be a little bit more mature, a bit more experienced. They've gone through it more. But you definitely need that side of the game. You can't just go like we did last season. It just doesn't work. We got a bit lucky at the end of the season, the last 5 games that we won last season. Otherwise, we were in 12th place at this stage. So yeah, so I actually like that he does that. That we needed to do that because the young players, a lot of them, they're a bit more energetic and they're a bit, they just want to do things quick. That's not how it works against a lot of those teams, especially the lower teams. If you do that, well, it's not going to look good for you. They're going to catch you on the counter and they're going to score, and that's what happened last year. You let them play three. Well, that's what the consequences. We didn't beat hardly any of the bottom 8 teams because of it. We lost and drew all those games against the bottom 8 teams. So yeah, look, it's a big improvement. He's definitely changed it. He saw in a couple of games earlier on that he needed to make that change because if we continue that way, it's not going to work with this group. But also, let's not forget we are
Here's
missing some key players
here's
as
the
well.
key point there. It's not gonna work with this group. We're not
No,
quite there yet. And I think a lot of people, if you understand football, you'd understand. I watched the collaboration between Ma and what's his name, Ma and Yan. That's one of the most objective content I've seen from the big accounts of late. The manager is doing what he has to do with the current crop of players that he has. If it
correct.
tries to get them to do what they are not able to do, would be in a very, very bad situation right now. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, the average fan sees result, sees it's only doesn't look beyond results in terms of understanding what a manager is doing or not. They just
yeah.
want you win, you
No
lose.
context,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
exactly. But go ahead, no context. So yeah, but go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly, coach. There's no context. There's a lot more involved than just turning on the TV, watching a game, and then yeah, there's a lot involved behind the scenes, and a lot of work, and a lot of things have to be all put together correctly for it to happen on the day. So yeah, look, he's dealing with a lot of things. Some players out, fitness issues. Yeah, so there's a few little things he's dealing with, and unfortunately, the striker situation is probably the biggest one because, like you said, in Kunku, well, he ghosted again this game, and he's been doing that for a long time. So you can't rely on Nkunku. He's playing him because there's no other option to play, to be honest. So he's keep.
But I'd rather KDH start next time. At least he shows up. And
Oh
Kunku,
yeah, yeah, hundred
yeah, I
percent, and I
get it. He got
agree.
to
Yeah,
go the other day, but man, I
he
don't
works
know.
hard. Yeah, he
I
works.
I, I don't want to see him on the pitch, honestly.
No, I don't want to see him. I'd rather see a young player there. To be honest, I've seen enough now to know that. Yeah, it's over pretty much. I wouldn't play him again. I would just sit him down, play him, and try to sell him because it doesn't matter if you play him to be, or maybe got some conference games coming up of the lesser teams. They're not that strong, those teams. So yeah, play him there. but I wouldn't play him in the Premier League anymore. It's just he can't do it. It's not doesn't suit him. I would rather play a young player there. But luckily, we've got our players coming back, and we've got a bit of a break now, so that's going to help a lot because we'll have 3 or 4 players coming back.
Yeah,
That's key. Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up with what we have in the chat, and when I come back, something that I'm concerned about because I like to, even though I like him, I still support him 100%. I'm concerned whether he's that sort of manager that he has to have a particular profile of player on the pitch to get results or to perform efficiently. Given
That's
because
with most managers, coach. That's what
you can say that's very common with most managers, but you earn your money by making do of what you have in the absence of that sort of player. That's why you're a tactician. And
Yeah.
the
But
people,
as you see,
Mhm.
Pep Guardiola struggled, and he's one of the best around, and he hasn't got some of his key players. Rodri, aka Rodri, what happened?
That's one I understand. Again,
Look at
uh,
Arsenal without Saka.
but that's an issue.
Yeah, it is an issue, but there's not
That's an
managers in the
issue.
world.
Does it come? Maybe it comes down to over relying on certain players, maybe, and not. Uh, uh, you could say that's where rotation comes in. That's
It does
where
come in, yeah. It does
that's where
come in.
creating healthy competition comes in. Don't you can say don't you learn to play in the absence of certain players. Pep Guardiola in the you could say in the attacking area he doesn't have such issue, but in that midfield area he made Rodri everything.
Yeah.
So when
Well,
he got
because
injured,
transition, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So he started struggling. Didn't even, you could argue, he never had plan B. He only leaves him out of the team if he wants him to rest.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like all managers do that because they create a relationship with these players, and they're the players that are there and that stay there. Some of the other players, usually the young players, they move on loans, they go there, and you don't really create that relationship. So that's why it's harder with a whole group of young players together at the same time. You really got to create those relationships. And look, I've criticized for that, criticized him for Madueke, for Colwell, uh, playing Nkunku when he shouldn't. Even Palmer, when I said he should probably sit down for a little bit. I'm criticizing from that. He's not a perfect coach, but
Yeah, we did criticize him for that, and that's
yeah.
where another aspect of this you could say manager his approach that I don't like. I don't think he's a good man manager.
He is coach. Behind the scenes, all the players love. You
Is
can
he
see.
really? The players like him, those especially those that are
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. Well,
If
that's
you really
what
want
I've
to talk
seen in the
about that,
interviews.
Colwell starts every game, even if his head is as he says is off his shoulders and he can still kick the ball. He starts him. Not automatically, you remember his case. There was a time we
Yeah,
thought that was it. We would start singing Pedro Neto from now on, and Madek never gets a chance to play. We never said he was a good player. We just was at the time we were you can say debating on the area of his game that he needs to improve to become better. Colt Palmer, he openly in public said, what's his name? Uh, um, he openly he said in public that Felix isn't playing because of Cole Palmer. Then,
yeah.
in the case of Nkunku, when Nicholas Jackson was fluffing the chances created for him, that was one particular game we thought, yeah, Nkunku is definitely starting that game. And boom, Jackson started that game. Sometimes you need that. You don't need, you can say there's a way you behave. Players will, even if they don't want to, subconsciously they start feeling indispensable. And you're creating a problem for yourself.
But this is
Honestly,
some.
so
This is
so
where you don't.
now in
Yeah.
when Nicholas let me if you don't mind please,
Go
when
ahead. Go
Nicholas
ahead.
Jackson got injured, Nkunku wasn't really ready. He's already left in spirit. We just had his body, especially after the transfer window. We thought he was gonna, you can say, join Bayern. For me, Nkunku is no longer at Chelsea. We just have his, you can say, body walking around at Chelsea, but his in spirit he's gone. Honestly, but go ahead.
Yeah. And this is where you got to. We don't see what happens behind the scenes, coach. We don't know what the is how
Okay, it looks like Dante is struggling with his audio. I'm going to continue
his
addressing what we
attitude
have in the
stunk.
chat. And if go ahead, it looks like it's fixed.
Yeah, I think Felix's attitude was stinky behind off the field. So I think that's why he
But
didn't
do you
play him.
agree that that probably started after again the manager made such comment and after
No, no, no. It only started
remember
after
he was the one
Felix,
that said Philip is the sort of player you pay money to come and watch. Did you remember that?
and he is. Even I would say
Go ahead,
that
Dante.
he's a ridiculously skillful player that you love watching football. Yeah. So, but he's not. That's not what you need on the field, and it's not going to help. It's not going to help you succeed at winning games. Unfortunately, it just won't. And he's proven that he hasn't everywhere he's gone. Uh, his attitude is the problem. I think he's a bit attitude in training. He doesn't play one game, and I think he complains. And the type of coach Maresca is, if he sees that happening, he's just not going to play him. Even if how good he is, it doesn't matter. He's not going to play you. He doesn't care. This when you look at Nkunku, well, can you blame him for not playing Nkunku either? What we've seen from Nkunku and how he is. No, I don't blame him because he saw this behind the scenes, maybe in training as well. Like I said, we couldn't. He had to play him now, and he's been starting because we have no strikers, and we're missing Madueke and a couple of wingers as well. He was
And that's
basically
the
forced to play
reason
him.
why, before Jackson got injured, had he rotated the team properly, given Nkunku a chance when we all
How did you
feel
give
like, and
Nkunku a chance,
probably
coach? He
Nkunku
was
at the
playing every
time,
week.
sorry,
He was playing every week, Conference League and FA Cup and
yeah,
League Cup. He was
but there
playing
was
every
a
week.
time, but you would want to play in the Premier League too.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing good enough. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But
I
he
wouldn't have
did
played him
well
either.
but Dante. Wasn't he doing well in the Conference League at the time? Here's the point of
No, he
rotation.
wasn't.
Here's how I see it.
He was scoring
Had he
penalties and tap-ins. No.
had he had he given him opportunities when Jackson was struggling, Nkunku would be ready to give his best when called upon in the absence of Jackson.
No.
That is when Jackson got injured. But Nkunku, before Jackson got injured, Nkunku probably we started seeing his body language changing.
No.
You could
He
say
was
at
like
the
that from the
time
start, coach.
he didn't look happy. Actually,
He was like that from the start. It doesn't matter. Even when he played, if you go back, look at him at Red Bull Leipzig. Go look at his body language. Look at the way he look. It's exactly the same. This is who he is as a player. It's just that's how he is. That's his personality. You're not going to do anything about it. But unfortunately, and Myers in the chat, they're saying he doesn't suit EPL the pace. Yeah, I think that is a big problem. I think he's not settling into the the EPL. Basically, he's not really fitting in. And all right, the system doesn't help him as much because he needs usually to play with the big striker up front. But it doesn't matter.
yeah,
You're still
he's played mainly as a second striker.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're still a
You're still a
supposedly
striker,
world
yeah.
class player. We bought you for a big fee. You're a world class player. You're playing for France. You're starting for France, and you're starting for Red Bull and doing really well there. You're pretty much a world class player in my eyes. So yeah, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done hardly anything. There's only one game since he's come to Chelsea I've seen him that he's played well. Only one game. To me, that's horrible. And if Maresca sees that in training as well, well, I can't blame him for not playing him. I think people are seeing why he hasn't probably played him as much because you can't say that he's not ready. He's ready, coach. He's been ready. He hasn't been injured. He's ready. He's been ready for a long time. So I can't buy that excuse. It's just he's not performing and he's not living up to the hype. Simple as that. The Premier League is a bit too fast, too physical. Maybe he's not fitting in. Simple as that.
All right. If you're in the comment section and you want to come onto the panel to let us know why you think what you think Maresca should change, whether you think he shouldn't change anything, or whether you think he should be fired, let us know. As long as you can be on camera and you're in the chat, because you're not part of the group where we share the link to the panel with some measure of security. We don't want to risk too much sharing the link in the comment section because that has led to friends of mine in Thai and Ankit get their channel suspended because somebody came onto the panel and played an excerpted sound. But just by the way, look at what we have on the screen here, Coach. Maybe early part of the season was just new manager balance, and current form is reality. I disagree. Remember, we lost our first game of the season, didn't we?
Man City, yeah.
Man City. And it wasn't, the truth remains, losing your first game of the season, never easy to recover from. And do you know how many games we won in a row? Things we saw at the time, for me, I can still remember the games clearly. The improvement, how he started getting the best of Enzo Fernandez. No, it was. I've heard all sorts of theories. I've heard some people argue that he lived off of the progress that Pochettino made. What progress, really? The
No.
style was different, in my opinion. The only issue we had at the time was bad defending in most cases, and some players, not again in the fullback, inverted fullback role, they were a bit confused at the time, leaving spaces in behind, when the case should have been when the fullback inverts. One of the centre backs, three centre backs, drifts in, cover up space there to make it a back three. We weren't doing that properly, and the opposition, the teams were exploiting. They did exploit that very well. So no, it was the manager. Look, he's I'd be the first to tell you he's not perfect, but I've seen enough to know that he's a good tactician, unique, innovative, or to some extent the way he does things. Um, if it's not a good tactician, the players by now will stop playing for him. If it's not a good tactician, he wouldn't have, you could say, realized that he need now before, when we were losing games, before we won 4 games in a row. He wouldn't have realized that he needed to change things around and start approaching games with a more cautious approach. Because yeah, we cannot score. Why risk too much to go and score? So we'll be better at playing with a cautious approach. If we get 1 goal, we can win a game with just a goal. But that's by the way, Dante, I don't know if you have anything to add to that. There you go. You have the floor.
No, coach, pretty spot on. And yeah, people are saying that he's lost the dressing room. Well, no, that's fake news to me. He hasn't lost the dressing room. I can't see that anywhere. Any players, they're all playing how they're playing. The interviews, no, there's no way he's lost the dressing room. As maybe 1 or 2 players are upset, maybe, but I don't, and that's probably they're gone. That's probably Felix, Vega, and that they're gone. So I don't, I don't think he's lost the dressing room, nowhere near it. To be honest, I think it's just the players. It's a young group of players. People keep forgetting we're the youngest in the top 5 leagues, so we're the youngest top team there. So it's a very extremely young team, and this is going to happen. And I think that's what happened a bit against Arsenal. I think they just at the Emirates there, just that first 30 minutes, they just didn't get going. They were a bit nervous, a bit this. And I get a little bit with Maresca to who he played as well at the back, because I did criticize him for not playing Tosin instead of Badiashile.
I wanted Tosin to start that game. Tosin,
Yeah,
right
of
now, it's
course.
no longer an argument. He's our best CP.
Yeah. But again, we don't know 100% behind the scenes how he trained, what happened. Yeah, we don't know nothing. He's got an eagle. We don't know. So anyway, yeah, I don't think he's lost the dressing room. And let's just judge him once the season ends, because we're sitting in 4th position at the international break. And if you would have told me that at the start of the season we're in the 4th place, I would take it in a heartbeat at this stage. And pretty much what every single Chelsea fan said at the start of the season, if we finish in the top 4 and Conference League, well, that is a successful season. We're 4th and we're still in the Conference League, but people want him out. So I don't understand that one. It's the same people that said they want to finish 4th or 5th and want to win the Conference League. The ones that are now saying he's lost the dressing room and they want him out because he's not good enough. Well,
No,
we are in 4th.
This team doesn't look like he's lost the dressing room. There are obvious reasons why we struggled as we did of late.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy.
And sometimes,
He's
yeah,
handled it well. The pressure didn't get to him. He did what he had to do. Play with a cautious approach.
and
I can't say
sometimes
this
just,
enough.
yeah,
Go ahead.
sometimes just 1 or 2 players in this type of system, important players that miss in this type system, it's very important to the team the way they play. I- AK Jackson, Palmer, Tossin at the back. I think it's very important. Sanchez, the goalkeeper, even though he was horrible again, at least he pulled off a good or two save as well. So yeah, look, it's that's especially that going forward, that striking position is the main key position that Matt. I think even if Guy was playing and offers that pressing and that
Just the
physicality and
pressing
risk,
alone will go a long way from Guy.
that goes a long way.
Yeah,
Something
the
Nkunku
pressing
doesn't do.
alone, yeah.
Nkunku doesn't do at all, really, to be honest. You saw him defending against Arsenal. He's just jogging around. Even that when they got the crosses in, he was just horrible. He's not a defensive player at
I
all.
think we've said this up before again. If Nkunku is your number 9, you have to cross with intent. You have to cross with accuracy. It has to get to him
To him, straight to him. Yeah,
to put
yeah.
it away.
That's why I just love him.
And
I
on
got
his
against the national
day,
team.
when he's present minded, he will make good runs and be in those, you say, pockets of spaces, but you have to find him, you
Yeah.
know. But
But yeah,
unfortunately, I'd say
Maresca
he's
is at
looked absent-minded. He's looked disinterested, even though you could argue he's looked a bit more interested of late, probably because Nicholas Jackson's absence, and he wants to show that he can be that guy in the absence of Nicholas Jackson. But I'd say no, I've not seen enough really. I'd rather KDH on the pitch or even Tariq Judge. But go ahead.
Georgia. Yeah, I think probably was going that way. But then he had that good game against, was it Southampton, I think, or Leicester? I can't remember which one he was, or the one before. And he had a really good game that one. He scored and he was linking up, playing really well. So I think it was he gave Maresca keeps giving in chances. There's not many options, like you say, unfortunately, because we're missing quite a lot. So he's giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I think that should stop from now on, to be honest. And I don't see him playing if Jackson's back, even Guy and that. I don't see him playing anymore, to be honest. So not in the Premier League, that's for sure. So we'll just wait and see.
All right, let's read what we have in the chat. This team needs a Palmer and Jackson. A good argument right there, and it looks like Palmer did miss Nicholas Jackson. They have good chemistry, and I think we learned the moment Jackson got injured that Cole Palmer needs him. They both need each other. But let's see what else we have here. We need more mobile midfielders instead of Enzo and better CB. We need to stop conceding goals. More mobile midfielders. Have you watched Enzo of late? He's been our best players. Even as we struggled, he he stood out in that period where we struggled quite a lot. I don't know the measure of mobility you need from Enzo again to see that. Yeah, he's our best players. One of our best. He's been our best players. One of our best players for a while right now. Sorry, I can't speak this morning. And the chances are we could lose him to Real Madrid actually. Hopefully the owners but it's going to take a lot to convince the owners to let him go. Except if he pushes to leave and Madrid are willing to pay the asking price, they may well let him go. Because probably he knows that a lot of Chelsea fans don't value him for more maybe relatable language. They feel like
They
he's
don't
not good
respect him.
enough. Sorry?
They don't respect him a lot.
They don't respect him, yeah. So probably once the opportunity comes, I think he'd take it without looking back. It'd take a lot to convince him to stay if any serious club comes in. Glad we have some players, key players back at Manchester United. Okay, good luck. And congratulations to you. Nice to always see you here. I do hope you're doing well. Chelsea need to find a way to score goals. It hasn't happened in the absence of Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson. Nani Madueke, hate him, all of them. Big up to you too, Mabas. I do hope you're doing well. I am disappointed that Chelsea lost to Arsenal. All Arsenal did was score a lucky goal. The set piece, that was about it. Yeah, you could argue, but they deserve the win. If you look at the overall statistics, in my opinion, they deserve to win. But it wasn't like it wasn't an ass whooping like a lot of Chelsea fans for making it to be. It's just that the loss was against Arsenal. That's how I see it. Could have been worse had the manager not employed a more cautious approach, really. Um, he says, I raised the alarm when Maresca said conceding goal is not an issue. You cannot outscore teams. You need a better defense. And I think because English isn't his first language. Sometimes he uses languages that people, you say, that leaves room for concerning interpretations. I don't think he means what you probably believe him. You could say probably
Yeah,
what you believe it means.
interpretation is different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think probably he means it's football. You will always concede goals, but I go back to letting you know English isn't his first language, so he will always say things that people will interpret as they deem fit and probably make to be what he didn't mean. What else do we have here? I'm going to scroll to the very bottom once again. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat, and if you want to come onto the panel to speak your mind on what you feel, how you feel about Enzo Maresca, feel free to let me know. I'll share the link in the comment section. It says we just won against Southampton and Leicester City at home. We're still losing games. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this again, and maybe you weren't listening when I said it. We could have actually lost those games. Leicester City had opportunities, but Maresca realized we had a problem before that game and had to change things. Against Leicester City, we didn't actually attack as we started the season. We were still cautious, knowing that they they had pacey players that can do some damage. Had it not been for that cautious approach, we could have lost that game 2-1. So the manager, I'm going to say this once more. I said it before. I'm just happy that he realized we needed to that there's need for us to make some changes. Yeah, we're capable of scoring even in the absence of Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, but we can't even score enough. I'm not sure I'm losing my mind here for lack of people, for people not understanding why we had to start playing with a more cautious approach. We had to, otherwise we'd be worse off in the table right now. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know,
when you
Dante.
say
I think I
cautious,
need your
coach,
help here.
when you say cautious, it's basically not rushing forward and when you're outnumbered, still attacking. Just take it easy, come back, get possession, get back in shape,
Exactly.
and go back again. Yes, and that's structure. Yes, because the young players, one thing young players don't do well is keep the structure because they're quite erratic, and
Or
so
manage games.
yeah, or manage games. And this is what he wants to instill in this team to make them need to learn. And I think it helped us against these weaker teams. It helped us the second time around. It helped us a lot. And we've got another run coming up now of more, lower half teams / mid-table teams, the next 5-6 games. So let's see how much it's helped us. We'll decide after. But we already saw it against Leicester, Southampton. We saw it against these teams that it helped a lot, and we still created enough to win the games. Because against Leicester, we had 20 shots, 20 shots. So that's what we were doing earlier in the season. But
Listen,
we were
the
much.
reason, if we hadn't done that, again, we've talked about this already today, not just like yesterday. Pochettino, most of the games we lost under Pochettino, we played better than the opposition,
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
we? Yeah,
Yes.
we scored goals, but they were able to outscore us. And everything
Yeah, on
comes
transition.
down
Yes, in
to having
transition.
young players that are not experienced enough. They don't know how to manage games. If you tell them attack without instilling the discipline of playing cautiously, of knowing that you're playing with human beings, that if you put everything forward and miss a pass, they can hit you on a break and score against you. And in most cases, if they score first, you're not going to get a goal back, let alone uh, win. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like I said, we saw that last season. He saw that at this start of this season because we were winning, but we were winning 3-1, 3-2. He saw it and he's like, well, it's not sustainable. He realized it's not sustainable. It's not going to happen. We need to pick up points and we need to finish as high as possible. And we're not, yeah, it might look fun for people that watch highlights and stuff, it might look fun and watch some of the games because it can be a bit fun, but it's not sustainable and you're not going to get those points on the board. So he realized he needed to tweak it. He did, and look, the second time around, like I said, we played Leicester, Southampton, these weaker teams. Well, we played that this way and we beat them, and we did much better. So yeah, like I said, there's another sort of run coming up of some other teams that are mid-table teams. And we'll see if how that works, and if we pick up points there, basically the next 5 games. I'm looking at who we're playing the next 5 games, and I'm pretty confident in a lot of those games that we'll pick up probably 4 wins out of those next 5 games, 3 or 4 wins at least, and that's 10 points. That's pretty much that should help us finish in that 4th or 5th spot.
All right, this reads this team is Champions League. They spent 1.5 billion. The manager needs to get his players right. I think here's the thing.
It's not that easy.
Was it spent correctly?
And it's spent quickly. It's spent in one window, basically, 2 windows.
And if you're
with a
going
massive
by
turnover.
and if you're going by the if you're going again, if you're seeing things from the perspective of the structure of the project, they tell you yes, they spent it wisely, except for those senior players. You can say experienced players they signed initially that were later on sold. That's the aspect you say, yeah, they didn't spend it wisely. But here's the thing. I've said this again, and I'm gonna keep preaching it because I believe if you have a platform, if we have given the platform we have, we should always try to educate people. The road or path taken requires patience
and a bit of pain.
And can we win things now? Yes, we can, but it's not that is if we had more experienced players, I'd have a stronger hope in us winning things now. Do I think we can win? Again, we can win the Premier League. We can challenge for the Premier League title next season. I'd say yes, given Isugo and what's the other player's name, and then if we sign a striker, sign CB, because chances are you could argue we need a CB, but not necessarily. If we can have a more traditional DM on the pitch that can screen the defensive line properly, you see, and have a good goalkeeper, you could see actually, then you start saying that actually we didn't have much of a problem in the CB areas. The issue has always been poor goalkeeping and also the midfielders not doing enough to protect the defensive line, if you get my point. So I'm going to go back to saying this. The path taken requires patience and a bit of pain. It's not going to, but here's the thing. We actually, I think we're getting closer and closer to seeing, you can say, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, for lack of a more relatable language there. But if you understand, if you've been able to take a step back, look at the project, see and understand the fact that the owners are being proactive. Do I think they're perfect? No. I can list about 5 instances of the mistakes they've made. But I'm still able to see that they've been proactive. Why? Because things have changed in football from a financial perspective, which simply means irrespective of whether you're a $1 trillion club, you just can't spend because you have it. If you're able to spend because you have the money, then Newcastle, they are currently, aren't they, the richest club in world football? They're honest.
They would be, if they were allowed
they're
to
up
spend
there.
it.
So my point is we're being proactive. And I think at the start of the season, if you listen to pundits, football commentators, rival fans, when we were firing on all cylinders, even though some of us knew at the time that we still hit a snag somewhere, we still because that wasn't going to last because we have our players that are still maturing. If you listen to them, they were speaking the truth at the time. They were saying how things will eventually come together, and how some of them thought, they've arrived. Some of them thought that's it. Chelsea have arrived. Some actually thought we were going to win the league, but some of us knew it wasn't that the possibility. No, mathematically yes, but where we are in terms of the project, we knew at the time we're not gonna win it. And Bobby was even more specific. Bobby, actually, from another perspective, did say something to the effect of, if we top the table, if we were there, where if we were, was the second place at the time after April, then he'd start saying, yeah, we're in the title race. But that's, by the way, my point is, I don't think they wasted the money. No, Koulibaly was bought and sold for a profit. We made a sizable profit from his sale. Angel Gabriel was sold. We made a sizable profit from his sale. And probably because we looked at it and yeah, it looks like it's not going to work out for him at Chelsea. So it's not a waste yet. And then I'm going to go back to letting you know the path taken requires patience and some pain. Dante, if you want to come in, go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, it's long term. It's a bit more of a long term project. A lot of people didn't like. They said that's not Chelsea. This is not who we are. And before the season started, they're already basically protesting. So, yeah. Look, unfortunately, these are the owners. Football's changed a lot financially. We were ahead. They were ahead of the game in that instance because they made those changes and those loopholes they found, which then other clubs tried to copy, but it was too late. A lot of them couldn't copy because we unfortunately closed the loophole because we abused it a little bit. And yeah, look, I think it's for the future. If you hear the plan next year is the plan was for next year to qualify for the Champions League, not even this year. It was for next year. That was the plan, and that's kind of looks the way the young players, the way the team is built. That looks that was the plan. And if we can do it though a season earlier, well, it's we're ahead quite a lot ahead of schedule. So yeah, a little bit unfortunately. Yeah, this is not Chelsea not who traditionally we are. It's not who we were under Abramovich because traditionally it's not quite the same. So yeah, you're not going to get an owner like that in world football anymore. One
No,
person running
it's
everything
never
like
going to
that,
happen.
and
Even he changed. He
it
started
doesn't care
changing.
about.
He started
Never going to
changing
happen
before the
again.
club was taken from him. Do you
Yeah,
remember
and
that?
just the rules in
Yeah.
PSR and financial rules,
Yeah.
and how you can hide money and where you can hide money. That is not possible anymore. A possibility anymore with all the stuff that's going around the world. So yeah, it's never going to happen again, unfortunately. So you just got to accept who we are. It's a long term, but what I can say, if this it works, well, in another couple of years' time, we'll probably be the best team, and we'll probably be continuing to be one of the top teams in Europe for the next foreseeable future with that squad we have in the age profile, because they're only going to get better and mature together. And if you're going to add 2 or 3 pieces here and there every season, or a couple of superstars, which they say they will add when the team's ready, well, then they want to what they say, they want to dominate. They don't just want to win here and now and then. They want to dominate, win everything for a long period of time, to stay at the top for a long period of time, because that's how you make money. If you stay at top for a long period of time, you attract the best sponsors, everything. You make a lot of money.
Yeah, and EPL tells things except Parma, all signings are average. Parma was lucky signing. He was going to West Ham, and they came to know and called his agent. They were not actively pursuing him. Okay.
There's no luck in
Maya
that.
is saying, I know Maresca will make the Champions League. If not that one, maybe the Europa League. Houston, I have strong hope that we will participate in the next edition of the Champions League. But it's not entirely in our hands. We'll be playing and hoping that other teams drop points. But let's see what happens. The
So just on
international
that,
break.
Coach,
Sorry?
just touching on that, I said yesterday, a couple of days ago, that we're pretty much qualified for that. Yeah, so I looked at the points again. So I was looking only at the Champions League, but it's over a Europa League and Conference League. So every time you win, it's a cumulative points. Even if Chelsea, how we won a lot and we've won every game, it's like 2 points gets added. It doesn't matter if you're in Champions League, Europa League, or Champions League. It's the same points you get to that total. So when I saw that Liverpool lost, well, there's a lot of points that will be dropped there. I thought maybe not, but now looking at it, basically, if we win the Conference League, well, we should be, if we finish 5th and win the Conference League, and another team sort of goes in the next competition in the Europa League, another English team goes to the next round, well, then we're pretty much gonna get the Champions League spot in that fifth spot if we finish fifth.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if you're in the comment section, if you have any questions to drop it, we'll try to address it. Let's see if anything new has emerged since the show started. I'll go to Vince's page. What do I have here? Anything new? Anything new? I'm guessing nothing new there. Let's go to this place. Okay, lots of comments from
Maya saying, yeah, Sancho. No, Sancho is a good player. He's a very good
I think
technical
he
player.
stays.
He stays. I don't think he's going
Yeah.
nowhere. For that price, English as well, you're not going to find better than that. So, yeah, look, he's been playing really well on the right-hand side since he moved. This was the only game he didn't have he wasn't very good. But that's down to, like I said, the structure up forward and the way Arsenal are set up and play. They're a very, very good defensive team. And when haven't got a striker or one player of those forward that is not contributing enough, well, then it's going to collapse. So, yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have a good game. But before that, since he's moved to the right, I think he's been very, very, very good. And you'll only get better once he knows his teammates more and more.
I don't believe this news. You see this news here that says Chelsea are considering whether to pay a significant fee to get out of their obligation to buy Sancho from Manchester United this summer. I don't believe it. Here's the reason I say I don't believe it. Sancho represents good business, just like Dante has explained already. Sancho also is a good player. So if we pay 25 million for Sancho, he's potentially a 100 million pounds player. He's that good. Honestly,
okay, not 100 million, but
I'm just saying potentially he can at least
potential, because he's still young. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So there's an excellent player there. We've seen flashes.
Well, he was. How much
what
did
is
United
capable
pay
of
for
doing?
him?
Sorry,
80 something. How much did United pay for him? 85.
Exactly. And I don't see Chelsea backing out of this deal. I think this is absolute nonsense. Maybe United
It's 10 million, coach. It's over 10 million to cancel that. It's over 10
exactly.
million.
So why not pay
What's the
15
point?
million more and sign him? I think the only reason Chelsea backs out from this deal would be if you started asking for something, or you could say, started if he starts
Or he's
asking
not happy.
too much of money from again his salary. You get my point?
Yeah, or he's not happy, but he said that he's very happy, and he hasn't complained. He hasn't started every game. He hasn't complained. He's a very good squad player, and that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, so Sancho represents good business. That's one. Two, Sancho is a good player. And we've seen flashes of what he's capable of doing. I think he has 2 goals in total, about 3 assists, and could have had more because of late he's created a few for Cole Palmer, who, due to bad form, fluffed them. But that's just my opinion anyway. We have the panic bus driver in the house, and the panic bus in the driver in the house, and Kim. So Kim, so nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. If you are in the comment section and you have any questions, drop it there. We'll try to address it. And if you want to come onto the panel to come tell us whether you think Chelsea should keep Maresca, sack Maresca, or whether you think he just needs to change something, we're going to listen to you. Go ahead, Dante. Were you saying something?
No. Continue, coach. All good.
Yeah, and if we don't want Sancho, we give them 10 million, and then they'll end up selling him. Yeah.
Oh, so pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be stupid to just let him go.
If he doesn't work out like for next year, we'll still be able to sell him for probably more than that amount because he's English and the way he plays, and we'll still be able to make money on him next season if we don't. But he's too good not to work out. And as a squad player, he's a very good. Once the system is in place and you got the right players around him in the system, he's a very, very talented player. If you know anything about football and technicality, how he dribbles, he's probably one of our best dribbling technical wise next to his feet. How he keeps the ball at speed and how he dribbles, you can't get better than that. He's top level when it comes to that. So once he fits in properly and the system's good and got the right players around and we're all together, then he's going to shine even more.
Listen, here, some say Felix is a good player. Felix is a good player. Maybe he has issues, and unfortunately, that's a solid argument with regards to his attitude. Everybody, when you talk about him, people will tell you, yeah, that's a pattern to how he's behaved at clubs or how he has left clubs, left Atletico after falling out with Simone. Bayern, Barca didn't want to keep him, even though he was willing to take a pay cut. But you could argue in Barca's case,
Correct.
the asking price at the time was just way too much, and we were lucky to get him at the price we got him for because Atletico wanted Gallagher. And in the Phillips case, whether you think he's a bad player or not, I still think he's a good player, and I like him as a player. But the question is his attitude. I think Felix was an opportunistic signing for us. And chances are he comes back and start ripping up trees. And his return, he didn't do badly. The only thing that you could say repeated itself was him hitting the woodwork, which is his thing. If that didn't happen, I'd start asking whether we signed the real Felix or the fake or a fake Felix. We should get that. And 2 goals and 5 assists, not bad, given that he didn't. It wasn't like he's been starting week in week out for us. So, but
And he came late as well. People forget that
yeah,
he came late as well.
yeah. Let's see. We have bigger problems. Okay, the poorly assembled squad than Maresca to serve first. Yeah. Here's the thing. Would be better off last season, even this season. I'm going to keep saying it. I haven't given up. We do a lot better than we did last season. Yeah, even under Pochettino, I was confident that we'll do better than we did the season before. Why? It's actually common sense. We still have the same crop of players. It's a few changes here and there, but none of the hardly again none of the important incomings since the new ownership have left the club. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
which
don't think
means
you would have done better, coach. Not with this squad. No chance.
that who would have done better?
Poch, he wouldn't have done
No,
better
I'm
with
just
this
saying,
squad.
but still, he did better than we did the season before. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is that the crop of players, they're still together. So the more they are together, the stronger they will be. As long as you don't make a wholesome change. In
Correct. Yeah.
football, it's a common it's common sense. Keep players together, and they will become stronger the more they play together. You can argue that was why some people are saying we clicked towards the end of Pochettino's tenure because the players started gelling very well, which is a sensible argument.
Yes, and no. I think it was more structural than anything. To be honest, I think he was playing those last 5-6 games. The inverting of Cucurella in
I knew you were going to
midfield,
say
which
that.
Maresca does now, and he's done for. Yeah, that's what changed. Why? Because it's true, coach. We had an extra midfielder. In there, blocking out the transitional attacks from the opposition, and they didn't score as much either. They didn't score much against us, and we won games. So that's what did it those last 5-6 games, in my opinion. And that was not even Pochettino because he was already out. That was Thiago Silva who made that change, who suggested the change, and the group agreed. And Pochettino agreed to it because he was leaving anyway. So it was not even him that made that change. Because I think if he kept playing the way we were playing, I don't think we would have won those last 6 games playing without inverting Cucurella into the midfield. With one midfielder, you're not going to win those games.
All right, let's see what we have here. Coachella, we need to stop blaming Maresca for everything. I have questions, but I've never said he's the reason why we're struggling. I have questions from, you can say, I think he needs to improve in terms of management, but that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't like the fact that he wasn't able to create a healthy competition between Cole Palmer and João Felix. Both can fulfill the 10 rule effectively. João Felix, he's a good passer of the ball. He's not just an artist. He's not just skillful. He has good vision.
He would have fulfilled that really well. But like
Sorry?
I said, coach, I said he would have fulfilled that role very well. He did when he
Very
came
well,
on a
yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I told you, it's Felix. It was the problem, not his football.
But I still don't like what the manager said.
What he said is what he said. But yeah, I think it came down more to Felix's attitude towards the situation, and probably behind the scenes, like I said, because he would have played him a lot more if that was not the case. There's no way you don't play a player that's good, that's doing well in that position, if he's not has the wrong attitude behind the scenes. It just won't happen.
Yeah, for me, I don't fault Maresca, and I've always told people, even on X, if you see my responses to comments blaming Maresca, I usually tell them Maresca is the least of our problems, and I like to leave it at that. We have 51 people in total following the show, 15 on YouTube, the rest divided between Facebook and X. If you're following the show on X, do us a favor, drop a like on the stream, and also follow our X account to help us get to 5,000 followers as soon as possible. And on YouTube, I think we'll have 700 on Facebook, we'll have about 790 followers. If you don't mind, drop a like on the video and also follow our Facebook account. And if you can come join us on YouTube, we'll start doing our monthly giveaway for our members who are students, to support them. And I still remember I owe you guys a giveaway for the birth of my daughter. I haven't forgotten. It just always forgets to do it, but we'll do it soon. Let's see. Gaslighting you. I love Kim so. Wish I could use a laughter emoji, but when we stream in the vertical format, I'm not able to use all those bells and whistles. So, but I'm gonna move on to that. Just go away. Just Kim, so don't talk to me again. Coach, when Chelsea played against Copenhagen, my favorite player for FC Copenhagen was the Brazilian CB Gabriel Pereira. I actually wouldn't mind him at Chelsea. Was he the one that scored the header? You're talking about the first leg. Was he? One of them was suspended for the second leg. But that's, by the way. What else do we have here? We need 14 more points to match last season's 63 points. One draw from our remaining 9 games. You doubt? Okay, let's see. Let's look at the games we have. A lot of people don't actually rate Maresca's tactical ability, and that's unfortunate, really. I think he's proven he's a good tactician, really. The big teams have beaten us. For instance, Man City beat us because they were the better side, not really because the manager couldn't. You could say not. You could argue wasn't necessarily because of our setup or because the manager doesn't know what he's doing. But that's, by the way, after the international break, our first game will be on April. March 6th. What? Our next game will be on April 3rd against Tottenham at home, Premier League, and then another Premier League game, Brentford away. Okay. I'd say 6 points right there, my opinion. I know we'll beat Tottenham anytime, any day, even if we have 30 players out injured. Then a Conference League against Legia Warsaw. Every time I see this club's name, then I remember Kenneth Zaibo at the time, who played for Rangers International, then got one call up for the Super Eagles. I can't quite remember. Then after that, we play Ipswich. We'll beat them this time. They beat us the last time. I think if Maresca don't beat him this time, I will turn on him. And that's me. Then Legia Warsaw at home. Then Fulham, I think we'll beat Fulham. I think we will. I think we will draw against Everton. I think so. Then we still have how many games here? I think we're probably missing 2 games. We still have the Liverpool game. Yep. Liverpool game, I think, probably will end in a draw. I think we will beat Newcastle United because, they would want to beat us to solidify their place in the table because they're pushing to finish in the top 4. Manchester United, probably a draw. That's just me sticking what history tells me. No, we'll finish in the top 4. That's it. Your thoughts on the games?
Yeah, it's not a bad run of games. Like I
No,
said,
not at all. Yeah.
we do well against these teams that are coming up, except probably for Man United that we didn't do well. But that's different Man United
Man
now.
United, 1,000 games, 999 draws, one win.
Yeah. So Man United maybe, but a draw is enough, to be honest. A point is enough. So pretty confident with that run that we'll do well with those teams, most of those teams. Even the Newcastle one, it depends where they are, what they're doing. Newcastle have been good, then 1 week later they lose, then they're good, and they're all over the place still. They've got it together a little bit recently, but it doesn't mean anything. In the Premier League, they haven't been that good. So, and we beat them in the Premier League earlier as well in the season, so that was good. Yeah, I'm not too worried. I think we can pick up those points from there, no problem. Like I
And
said, I
we're
think,
definitely beating Ipswich this time.
yeah, I think this time Maresca won't play the same way he did against them last time because he saw what happened. So I think it'll be a very different game,
They
100%.
exploited spaces perfectly. Like,
Yes.
Jesus Christ, the speed at which they attacked us every time we lose the ball, like this, boom, they are on our end. I couldn't believe it. We've changed it. I don't think Maresca will risk too much now. From now on to the end of
He
the
won't.
season,
No.
it will be boring, but we will get results. And I'm
He'll
all
want
for
to
it.
just get results, exactly. He'll want
Yeah,
to get
and
those
I'm for
points
it.
on the
Yeah.
board and consolidate that 4th, 5th spot 100%. Yeah.
All right. If you have any questions, we want to take questions now. We've been streaming for 1 hour, 51 minutes, 54 people in total following the show. 16 are only on YouTube. The rest is divided between X and Facebook. Let's see what else we have here. Joao Felix is going to be Nkunku replacement in the summer. That may well happen because, he's still a Chelsea player. Joao Felix needs to work more harder, change his attitude. In terms of again, I think
Yeah.
he changed since he stopped working on that.
I don't think it's about the work.
Money. Sorry.
I don't think it's about working harder. I think it's just the
No, he
attitude.
works
That's
hard. Yeah,
yeah.
he works hard. Even defensively, if you charge him to do that, he can track back and run after players effectively. Honestly, he
Yeah.
has that
Coach,
in him. Yeah.
it doesn't matter how he can be the best, one of the best players in the world, but if he questions Maresca behind the scenes and has attitude, it doesn't matter. He won't play him. That's the type of Maresca coach he is. He's not going to take that type of stuff. I think that's what happened most likely.
I don't think we're going to lose against Brentford. I don't think so. The only game I'd say we possible could lose. What team do I think will pressure us that much? Pressuring us that much wouldn't work. It worked at the start of the season, and yeah,
Not how we're set up now. No, it
no,
won't work.
pressuring us won't work. We're just gonna find this. If you pressure us, if you come at us, you're risking a lot. Maybe Brentford. Brentford could be that team that will struggle to play against, given their physical approach. And yeah, you could say their manager can be very, very. Thomas Frank can be very pragmatic, and it's been yielding results for him. So maybe, but we'll see. But I think we'll finish in the top 4. Even if we have 1,000 players out injured, we'll still find a way to beat Spurs. Honestly, that's one team I've never been concerned about us playing them. Yeah, but here's where you should be concerned. If you're a believer in the existence of Charity FC, we may well decide to, console them by handing them a win. But I think we'll beat them. We'll harshly turn on Maresca, just like Poch last season. Poch, I didn't even wait for what I said. I'd wait for I'd wait for to happen before. Again, I give up on him. But Maresca, yeah, I like to give people time. So far, no grounds to start screaming Maresca out. No grounds at all.
Did you say Brentford you will lose?
I think we that's one game I think we could lose.
No, we smashed them when we played early in the season, Coach.
Does it matter? They are home this time.
Yeah, probably that helps a little bit, but I think yeah, we had 26. I think that was our most game with our most shots on target, our most shots on a game. I think that was 26. Yeah, 26 shots and 8 on target in that game. Yeah, we opened them up pretty well in that game, to be honest. So at home they might be a bit better, but I don't know how much that will mean that game to them too much, to be honest.
Yeah, let's see. Zero confidence going forward. A time for a new coach. No, we cannot just be chopping and changing. Here's one thing. If we hire another manager, we will definitely hire another idealistic manager, which means they'll be bent on implementing their preferred approach to football. Which means if you were gonna wait for just 2 years, we're gonna wait for 4 years. I don't want that to happen. Maresca is capable, but I get it until he proves it. It's only fair to say he's not a world class coach. It's really that simple. But the argument I don't buy is calling him a championship manager. Nope, he's a Premier League manager. It's as simple as that. I like to be as objective as possible. I think he has what it takes. We need to support him. This is just his first season as Chelsea manager, and I believe he's done well enough, better than uh, uh, Potter
All our
did,
previous
better than
coaches, to be
Pochettino.
honest.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, better than our previous coaches. Yeah, Tuchel won the Champions League, but the season after, when in the Premier League, we're doing way better than Tuchel was doing.
Yeah, our struggle actually started under Thomas Tuchel, but which I'm not saying it was his fault. We had squad issues from that time. We had too many players of the same profile, no proper balance. Players that were signed, I think they were signed on the. Some of them were signed on the Lampard. Majority of them, actually, I'd say. But that's by the
But he
way.
also got players that he wanted in as well for that
Yeah,
window, and they didn't work out at all. That was one of our worst windows.
yeah. This is saying. One second.
Yeah, Tottenham have been pretty horrendous this season, 100%.
I
Yeah, I'm
think they're
surprised
lucky not to
Angie's
be
still there
fighting relegation.
to be honest, but I think they're just waiting till the end of the season, most likely.
Do you remember me telling you that he's not gonna last? And you remember when we talked about that, how he played under Pochettino? He had 10 players out
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
had just done he had 10 players sent off, had just only his goalkeeper on the pitch, and he
Yeah.
was still playing a high line. That was when we knew he's gonna get fired. Because talk about a manager
Yeah,
being
look,
stubborn.
that's how he is. Yeah, he's been like that always. Like I said, I know him very well.
Like
But usually
Jesus.
the second year, usually the second year it's turned around and it's worked when he's got some of his players that he needs in. Unfortunately, I think a majority of those Tottenham players are not really his type of players. I think he'll take another window, which will be the summer, but
But he
I don't
signed
know
a
if he's
few
going to get that or
players,
not.
man. How many players has he signed for on since he joined Tottenham?
Yeah, but it wasn't him. Didn't you see the interview coach he gave? That was Levy signing those players, not the players he wanted.
Then
He
he's
said
not
it
going
in
to
an
stay.
interview, which was pretty
He,
funny.
he's
Yeah,
basically.
they signed young players. They signed really young players, like 18-year-olds, like a lot of them. Yes, so they spent money on that, but it's not the players he wanted. He said these are for the future. It's not the players I need for the team right now. So he only got like two players in that
Are you
plays his
making
style.
excuses for your fellow Aussie?
No, I'm not making excuses because I don't really care what happens at Tottenham. I really don't care at all what happens at Tottenham.
But
I,
here's
I'm
the
just
thing,
saying,
Dante.
yeah,
Whether he has the players he wants, you could say to start achieving, getting results right now, in the present time, whether be it winning trophies or finishing in a Champions League
mm,
place, he's still way too stubborn to be a Premier League manager. Even Pep
yeah,
doesn't take the sort of risk he takes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's his philosophy, and yeah, he either wins or dies by the sword. So yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work out. He's We'll see what happens. That's what I said. I don't know why he hasn't been fired yet with these results. It doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
know why either, but like you said, maybe they're waiting to the end of the season. But go ahead.
Yeah, but they're really down in the table, and that costs a lot of money. So at least to get in the Conference League or something or Europa, but they're really far away from anything. So it doesn't make sense why he's staying up loss after loss after loss. I'm not sure what's going on there, to be honest.
Yep. Thank you so much. Anything else? If you have questions, let us know. Now that we have Dante here, because I'm quite sure he's gonna run very soon. Let's see what we have here. You will beat Manchester United team. Yeah, that's when I get concerned, honestly. And where the easy says Coach Maresca is not good enough, he has shown it. From what I've seen, in my
Where
opinion, I think it's good enough. But you're entitled to your opinion.
we're in a Champions League spot, people. My goodness.
Yeah. When last did we find ourselves in a second place? Except, yeah, because alphabetical order also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's by the way. And it was just unlucky losses that led to us dropping points. I don't like it when I see such comments, really. Newcastle United are too inconsistent. I don't think they are good enough to qualify for the Champions League, but I think that they already have qualified for the Conference League via the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
result for them. Deserved win for them, in all honesty.
I'm very happy
Um,
with.
yeah, Lucky Sin is telling us not to worry about them. No, I'm worried. Yeah. Did we get results against Arsenal? 1-1 home at home. Then they beat us
Yeah.
one. Could have ended 1-1. Uh, because there was a Kukurea shot that their goalkeeper fluffed.
Yeah, that was so lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Big up to you, Victor Adedoyin. Nice to see you, bro. I just want to say hi. Having a peace of mind for now that the club is on international break. I need composure for now. That's a good one. You do need it. We all need it. We all need a break. Sometimes you can say it's always nice to take a break from football for the sake of your mental health. And in all honesty, I'm not kidding when I say this. I see the way people go at everything, every Chelsea related news on X, and I ask myself, I hope they're okay. And I mean it when I say that. It's not a joke. Because if you really can, if you as a football follower, as a Chelsea fans, it can break your heart. It can get you, you can lead to you becoming dejected, depression. So yeah, it's important if you can, whenever you can, take a break from football, especially when things aren't going well. But unfortunately for us content creators, we have to be here and listen to some people and even get to read some people's opinion that we don't like. Unfortunately. But nice to see you, my bro. I hope you're doing well. Long time, Mr. John. How are you doing? I appreciate you finding time to join us. I do hope you're doing well. I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy, and if that's the case, we understand because bills don't pay themselves. So welcome back. Let's see what else do we have here. Felix will go to Villa. Emery wanted him, couldn't afford him in the summer. It's going to be difficult. We're not going to sell him for cheap, and financially, Villa, you could argue, in some sort of trouble. They actually need to sell. Have you heard that
Yeah,
story,
there's not
Dante?
much room for them to sign players next season. Maybe one player, that's it.
Yeah, and especially, but not player like Felix. It's not gonna. If it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen last transfer window. Philip may well end up staying at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may well end up staying at Chelsea because yeah, we sent him out on loan to Juventus, but with the clause that he's going to be with us for the Club World Cup. What does that tell you? We still want him.
Yeah, well, we'll know then for sure if it's his attitude that then we know that he's not going to be around. If he is around, it wasn't probably his attitude then.
Yeah, and yeah, if he comes back, he may well have learned to be patient because, damn, what did, what really? I couldn't stop laughing when I read that news from an Italian journalist saying that Jean Felix is as handsome as his useless. I said that journalist is definitely going to hell. What did he do that
They
I
don't care.
could not believe it? Honestly, that's not good.
Yeah, they don't care. They really burn their players there. They don't care what they say. It's yeah,
Jesus Christ. I remember
as long as it
Maldini
make
also saying, what was that Nigerian player at AC Milan? He said he's just useless.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't care.
That's not okay, really.
It's not okay, but it got the attention that it needed, and even you know about it, and everyone knows about it because of the way he said it, and that's what they aim for.
Damn, that he is as handsome as this is useless. I said this guy isn't that that journalist isn't definitely not gonna make heaven. Because even God, sometimes when you get to certain places, the manager will say, I handle this. when when that journalist get to the gates of heaven, God will say, wait, I'll take care of this myself. I- that's not nice. That's a lie. um, a player just joined you and has been there for just a few months and needs to adapt. Even he's done well for them, in my opinion.
You know what that tells me, coach? Because that journalist is around the team. That tells me Felix said something to him. Attitude again, most likely.
Jesus Christ. And Mabase is saying at least Felix tracks back, unlike Nkunku, who stands like a statue and doesn't press. Nkunku is one of the most laziest players I've ever seen. I'd take Felix over Nkunku. And I'm not gonna lie, and even I'm so confused as to what position Felix Kunku plays that I even though I've heard him during an interview saying that he sees himself as a striker. I got confused. I'm not sure. Maybe Maresca because Maresca doesn't see him as a striker, and he's always deployed him on the flanks. That has led to me not believing he's a striker myself. But that's by the way. He says Spurs will draw. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe that probably didn't type something
First
correctly.
draw, Brentford loss. Yeah.
Okay, and now the new charity FC. Yeah, unfortunately. And there's something else I wanted us to talk about if Dante still has time here. We drew and lost to Spurs in our last 3 years itself. Okay, under TT and lost under Potter. Okay, let's see. Coach said if he had a fully fit squad, he'd beat Arsenal. Imagine if Liverpool and Madrid fans had this low standard. I'm not sure what you're saying. When did I say this?
I don't know what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you know who this is, right? This that's Chimera. I think that's his name. His other name. He's just gonna fight.
Really?
He'll always find a way to accuse me, and that
Trying to
makes him
whack
happy.
you.
Yeah, yeah, to whack me. Might as well sign. Just leave me alone, please. All right. If you have any questions, drop into the comment section and we'll try to address this. Coach looking at him, Forest and Leverkusen, a quality coach can turn a group of average players into monsters. It's about coaching this championship coach and it. I disagree. There's a difference between our squad and the Nottingham Forest squad, and even Bayer Leverkusen. But that's just my opinion anyway. I'm not going to get into that argument right now. Maresca is doing much better job than our ex like Pot. Yep, the three of them. Lampard when against you could say tactically astute manages his struggles. Kellerman is out for the rest of the season due to some hamstring injury again. Okay, I'm not sure what else to say here.
I haven't heard of that.
Uh, All right. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. We'll try to address it. Lampard had a better season with academy players, not just academy players. He had experienced players at the time and academy players. But what happened when he signed the players he asked the club to sign? Yeah. So how do you defend that?
Pretty much.
Why why you keep playing Sanchez, Nkunku and Cowell in starting 11? I think I have Dante answer that one. I'm not interested in answering the question on the screen. Yeah, Dante, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Well, Sanchez is because I think Jorgensen wasn't ready, so he took his time with Jorgensen. He was doing well. He put him in eventually. He made that mistake, but I still think he should have gave him more time. Definitely, he's still the better keeper, in my opinion. So yeah, I think especially after the Arsenal game, Sanchez should not be in goal again, not in the Premier League. In Kunku, like I said earlier, there's no one else
We
to
have no
play.
option.
There's no option. There's basically 18-year-old George on there to put on, but I mean, he's going to go with the more experience. He's trying to back him. Like I said, he had a good game a couple of games ago, but yeah, it's a bit of false hope. Unfortunately, he should not be playing anymore for the rest of the season. I agree with that.
He shouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and Colwell. Look, I think it's in his contract that he has to play every game. When he did his new contract, I think he added that in because he said, "Otherwise, I'm going Liverpool." So maybe he added that in. I joke about it, but don't be surprised if it's
Is that
true.
even possible?
It is possible. Of course, it's possible.
Then what happens if the club doesn't meet that requirement? Of
No, it'll be a clause in there. It might be just for this season, at least this season to play. It won't be for his the whole season. It might be just for next season or something like that. Might have to do how he plays as well, or if he scores own goals, or how many goals lead to. There could be a lot of sorts of things, but it can happen. Rare, but I've heard about it that it can happen. So look, I don't know if it's the case. Either way, I think it's about development as well. They just want to see him develop and play more. And he's still getting picked for England as well. And he's playing for England as well, which is even more surprising. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't think he should be playing. I think he should be sitting down, and Tosin should be playing, or, especially with Fofana back as well. But it is what it is. It's probably probably a bit of everything. A bit of that. He's got a good attitude. Maybe they see him as a leader, which they have said they're trying to build him into leader. They see him as a leader, so he's probably good in the dressing room and stuff. Training, dressing room. Maybe very professional off the field. He might be a very good professional as well. So there's a lot of things to take into account. But football wise, he struggled for me. He shouldn't be starting. But yeah, it might be to just play him, develop him, let him get better with experience. Simple as that.
Go ahead, Dante. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've said everything, Coach. I've
All right,
answered the
doesn't
question
look
for
like
you.
there's any questions there, so we may have to round off soon. Except if anything new emerged, that's what we were talking. And once again, if you have time, you can go check Premier League's team stats for the season. You see that actually the manager is doing his job. His setup, his approaches, you can say, got us to places where you can say we're capable of. You can say we should be scored. We should have scored. We should have more goals and should be better, placed a better place in the table than we are currently. But unfortunately, we fluffed the chances we had to score. And if you look at Nkunku's XG and that of Nicholas Jackson, you see that they are actually underperforming their XGs. It's in the minus actually, which is very bad, and it doesn't make sense. When such things exist to go back to blaming the manager for our situation, and that's just my opinion anyway. But let's
Even
see if
Palmer,
anything.
Coach,
Yeah,
the
go
last
ahead.
10 games, Palmer, his XG is shocking. Like the guy, like he's missed so many chances. It's unbelievable how many chances he's missed.
Yeah, go ahead, Dante. We're used to speaking. It looks like you're
No,
going
no,
in
no. I
and
was
out.
just saying, Palmer, the last 10 games, he's missed like so many chances. If he scored some of those, even half of those chances, we'll be breaking records of how many goals we've scored this season.
Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all for finding the time to be part of the conversation. And yeah, I don't think anything new has emerged since the show started. Let's see what we have here. Vince, where is your page? That's Dante's comment on the screen. We don't want to read Dante's comment. Anything new here?
It's always negative most of the time. I don't read it.
All right, it doesn't look like anything new has emerged, and I want to say thank you, Dante. I don't know if you have anything else you want us to talk about.
No, nothing much more. We've talked about it. Disappointing we lost against Arsenal, but we move on, and we've got a good run of games coming up, so hopefully we can pick up the points. And I'm still very confident that we'll finish in that 4th, if not maybe 5th spot, which should be enough if we go in the Conference League the way we're going. That 5th spot will most likely be enough to get Champions League for us as well.
And just quickly, the loss to Arsenal, what defines the depth or maybe the severity of the loss is the fact that, yeah, it was Arsenal.
Just because it's Arsenal. Play-wise,
exactly.
30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, that was, like I said, probably the worst we've played all season up there. That the first 30 minutes, we just look completely lost. It's like I said, it's like they played the first time together ever, those guys. So that first 30 minutes was really bad. The rest was okay. Not enough going forward, but the rest wasn't too bad. We put them under pressure. We had the possession, but yeah, we just didn't have unfortunately the firepower up front to cause them any much trouble. And they're too good of a defensive team, so you got to give them credit. They're very, very good defensive team, if not the best in the Premier League up there with Liverpool. So yeah, that's one thing they can do very well.
All right, people, thank you to all of you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. Sincerely do appreciate you all. I want to say thank you to Constantine Dunn. Big up to you for finding the time to participate in the conversation. Wax, thank you. Mabasa05 and John Shank, sincerely do appreciate you. We definitely need a leadership. I think I missed that one. We definitely need leadership in the locker room. I have too many players my age, and I am definitely responsible. I got a co-worker that snitched. Our manager is near. Thank you for that one. I appreciate that. Mabasa 5, who else was here? A lot of people. EPL Tough. Maya the rapper was also here. If I miss your name, apologies. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Wake up, it's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Chelsea see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Wake up, it's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got